Eminönü, once the maritime gateway to the city, is right by the bustling old bazaars, museums, and grand classical Ottoman mosques. But I really need a change of pace. Today's last stop is Samatya. It was once a fishing village and has been home to the city's Armenian minority for centuries. Pardon. Merhaba, pardon. Merhaba. Just bir question. Bir dakika, burada Samatya'da like hangi dukan çok iyi like for a snack? For abur cubur?
Anlamadım kısmı.
Okay. Tamam. Teşekkürler. All right. How do you say snack in Turkish first of all? Merhaba. Ben video check, but Samatya'da. I just want to know, like, burada hangi patisserie çok iyi?
Hangi?
Patisserie.
Pastacı.
Yeah, pastacı.
Pastacı.
Seyran.
Yukarı.
Okay.
Seyran.
Okay, niye Seyran?
Seyran. Çok eski pastane. Ürünleri güzel. O yüzden.
Benim Şivan. Ben video check Samatya'da. And I just wonder, burada hangi patisserie çok iyi? Pastacı, burada hangi çok iyi?
Pasta.
Yeah, pastacı.
İşte burada Seyran pastanesi var.
Seyran pastanesi. Hangi? Like börek var, kurabiye var.
Her şey de var.
Her şey var. Sen de hangi çok iyi lezzetli?
Şimdi ben mesela diyorum ben pasta seviyorum, sen de gidiyorsun kurabiye seviyorsun. Belli olmaz ki.
Depends. Okay. Okay, we're going. We have a friend. Okay, let's go to Seyran Patisserie. Hangi kurabiye çok lezzetli? So this is İzmir Bomba. İzmir Bomba. Okay. Teşekkürler. And it is filled with chocolate. It's really good because there are some cookies that like the chocolate just oozes out, but it's not like that, but it's still perfect. It's delicious. Adı ne?
Patatesli.
Patates. So there's a potato or potatoes in this? Good. I love this. Adı ne?
Tuzlu kurabiye diye geçiyor.
Tuzlu kurabiye, so like a salty cookie. Both of these are amazing. I mean, in their respective salty and sweet category, they're perfection. Okay, I've got my snack and I'm ready to see more of Samatya. I met up with Guzin, who leads walking tours in Samatya. She took me to a meyhane that she says is her best kept secret.
So we will be experiencing the meyhane culture with you for lunch.
Okay, let's pick some mezes.
This is the sour apples.
Sour
apples mixed with yogurt and nuts and sarımsak garlic.
Okay.
So I think we should go for this because
All right.
it will be something new for
Something
me
new.
as well. Called lakerda. It is tuna fish. So they pickle it. It is a delicacy which unfortunately we cannot find anymore in many of the meyhanes. Topik is a very typical Armenian meze, a very typical Armenian dish. is a place where we gather and drink rakı and share food and share conversation. Meyhane is a culture, and it's a very, very old traditional culture. And I think this culture started all the way back in Turkey, 18th, 19th century. And Samatya is one of the locations where meyhane culture started.
Really?
Yes.
Here in Samatya?
Yes. This one, I love it because it's so humble. I find it very humble and nice. And quality of food, a variety of mezes. Samatya still has an Armenian culture, but you don't feel it in the restaurants or in the meyhanes anymore.
Okay.
So Samatya meyhane is originally owned by Armenians, and there would be a very strong Armenian cuisine in here in the meyhanes.
It was much more than topik, which is
Yes.
an Armenian dish. So,
Yes.
and even today, it was kind of a special request to have topik on the
Exactly,
menu.
yes.
So what happened?
Well, people changed. The taste changed. We still have a community of Armenians, a minority of Armenians, up to 60,000 people living in Istanbul in different neighborhoods, and Samatya is one of their big neighborhoods that Armenians live. But they are not into restaurant or meyhane business anymore.
How would you describe the Armenian community in Samatya today?
They are very well integrated with the Muslim Turkish community in here. That's what I see so far, being in here, sitting in their coffee houses and listening, just, eavesdropping to their conversations with the locals. So they are very well integrated.
What are they talking about?
Today they were talking about the politics and, what's happening around the world.
Fighting erupted once more between Armenia and Azerbaijan over the separatist territory of Nagorno-Karabakh. It's the largest escalation of hostilities between the rival Caucasus nations in decades.
Are Armenians fearful? Because Turkey has taken is supporting Azerbaijan openly and, in providing military support. Yeah. So as a minority community in Turkey, are they fearful for their future here? Are they concerned?
When the war broke out between Azerbaijan and Armenia just a couple of weeks back, and then there was a protest, these very nationalist groups, they rode their cars, honking and so on in Kumkapı, where the patriarchate, Armenian patriarchate is. And there is lots of Armenians living in there, but my Armenian friends are living in Kurtuluş. And a couple of them called me, fearing for, remembering the past, what happened back in 1960s in the, 6th and 7th pogrom. And they were afraid that, people might misunderstand that it is a war between Azerbaijan and Armenia, and Armenians living in Turkey are not the Armenian Armenians. Of course, ethnicity is the same, but Armenians in Turkey have been living in here for thousands of years. So they were afraid that, some people might not understand the difference, because these are Turkish citizen Armenians. They are our minority. But it's happening because now the world is changing. So people are becoming more racist, and they act like it's normal. Come on, being racist is not normal. You cannot talk about racism and you cannot be proud of being racist.
What is on their mind? What do they want to see that's different for them?
The things happening now, with Azerbaijan and Armenia, maybe they would have liked to hear more assurances from the government. It would be nicer if our officials would come out and say, yes, we know that you're Turkish citizens, you are our minority, and of course we know how to differ Armenia from Armenians living in Turkey.
Hrant Dink was a prominent Turkish Armenian journalist who advocated for minority rights in Turkey and openly spoke about the Armenian genocide. In 2007, a young Turkish fanatic assassinated Dink outside his newspaper's offices in Istanbul. His killing led to mass protests and set off a debate about ultra-nationalism and free expression.
He became a symbol. I think he's the broken wing of a dove. He wanted to express how the Armenians felt in his newspaper. He was a good representative of the Armenian community and the minority, even though a lot of fanatic, nationalists saw him as a traitor to the country. But, you're Armenian minority. You're of course presenting your minority's ideals. Instead of trying to understand why they were feeling that way and why he was writing those articles, they decided to judge and kill him. He wasn't a traitor for me. I believe in freedom of speech, no matter what.
Is freedom of speech declining in the country?
Our government is saying no. there is an idiom. It says, the best meze for Rocky is a good conversation with a friend.
I love that.
Şerefe. I like my Rocky strong. Well, it's one of the oldest neighborhoods in Istanbul. It was where we had the multicultural of minorities as well. That plays a very important role. So first the Greek culture, then comes the Armenian culture, then comes and blends in the Turkish and Muslim culture. And they all coexisted in peace for so many centuries. So I think it's better we end up our day in the traditional Emirgan kahvesi with a nice Turkish tea. Tea is really good in here and very reasonable.
Yeah, I love it. And it's like, how would you describe this? It's like a Tafshankani chai?
Yes, this
Or
is a
is it-
tavşankan, rabbit blood.
Yeah.
And it is in the small glass, which I love.
It's a kuchuk glass. It's
Yes.
very sweet. I love this.
Yes, same,
like it.
same here. I like this one.
Okay, afiyet olsun.
Afiyet olsun.